Summer vacation is finally here and I'm super happy just like any other person in high, middle or elementary school. Once vacay happens, everyone wants to go overseas, go on rides, mountain hiking, parasailing and more. Me? Nah, I'm not like that. I prefer to sit home alone and play video games all day, just like every other gamer kid. The thing is, there were no good video games to play on Steam, but I was preferring to play indie games other than those cool ass video games like Black Ops, Battlefield and all that. So I really want to search for some indie games to relax and chill. After a few minutes of searching for what to play, I found Plants vs Zombies to play, the original one. It was a pretty good game that built up a so-called epic series of the same game. This game was kinda old, dating back since 2009. I thought to myself, if Minecraft was that old and many people out there still play it, why not give Plants vs Zombies a shot? I read the description before downloading it, until I stopped reading when something caught my eye. At the end of the description, there was a sentence in red that said, "You killed us all." Haha, nice troll, PopCap, I thought to myself as I pressed the download button. To be honest with you, the game took about a day to download, so it pretty much ruined my day of gaming. So I decided to move on with my day while the game downloaded. The next day, I saw the game in my files, but the game was in a file named Deadplants. I clicked it only to find that the application was named Deadplants.exe instead of plantsvszombies.exe or pvz.exe. Was this a mod or something? I didn't know and I didn't care. All I wanted to do was play the game and that's it. I clicked the application. It didn't even show the PopCap, not even the loading screen. It just brought me to the home screen. First of all, I felt a little unnerved due to the music going off key and higher than usual. I typed my name in and pressed the adventure button, and it faded into black and transported me to the first level. The call played at the stage beginning was a scream which made me jump. Other than that, it was a pretty decent game. The levels were a bit hard and the music was off key and high pitched, which was kinda disturbing, so I decided to cover that music up in my NCS Gaming Mix playlist. Even with one lane to defend on the first level, it was kinda hard. A zombie eventually ate one of my pea shooters and I swear to God, I saw a bit of blood splat out of the pea shooter, but I'm pretty sure it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. As I progressed through the intense levels, many zombies ate many of my plants, and before you can even plant your first sunflower, a zombie starts walking on the lawn. The night levels was creepier due to a few things. The off-key music got a bit louder after each level I progressed, even though I had my gaming mix on. It overtook the gaming mix. Second of all, the graves had names of recent celebrities that died, like Tim Bergling, Avicii, Stanley, and Carrie Fisher. When I used the grave buster on one of those graves, there would be a fast text that would pop up on my screen that read, "Why?" and then disappear. That was not the creepy part though. The creepy part was that around the final night levels, I would see different names on the graves, and names that sent chills up my spine. Some of the graves had names of people I knew in my life, but they were dead, like the names of my grandpa and grandma, my great-grandpa, and my 89-year-old 3rd grade math teacher. I don't want to say their names cause it's private info, but apart from their names, it gave me big chills up my spine seeing those names in the game. At first I thought it sent some kind of malware into my computer to hack into my private files, but I had an antivirus. How could this be possible? Before I knew it, I had finally progressed to the pool level. Nothing much happened during the pool and fog levels, except for the fact that they were both difficult, many plants got eaten, and the freaking eerie off-key in-game music literally grew louder and louder, louder than my gaming mix playlist. I tried muting my computer, but even at 10% volume, it was almost like as if it was 40% volume. When I got to the roof levels, there was no music, except for faint static. Every level I completed made the static grow louder and louder till I had to take my headphones off, even at 10% volume. You might think that audio is the creepy part of the story. Well, you got it all wrong, my friend. The creepy part was what happened at the end of the game. Apparently there was a Zomboss boss level where you fight Dr. Zomboss in his Zombot to complete the game, but instead of a Zomboss, the screen turned black and white text faded in. It read, "Why did you do this to us?" A few seconds passed, and this time, a red text faded in, and it read, "Now we will do this to you." All of a sudden, I was transported into a daytime level, but I couldn't tell. The background looked like a switch of colors looking evil-like, but worst of all was the lawn. The lawn was blood red and half as large as the lawn from the beginning of the game, like a mirror image of the lawn. I had absolutely no idea what the frick was going on with this game, almost as if it was modded or hacked by some morbid-minded dude. There were no zombies though, but it told me to choose my seeds. I picked sunflower, repeater, gatling pea, kernel pulp, tall nut, cherry bomb, snow pea, and jalapeno. No zombies appeared as well, but then I saw a plant spawn on the opposite-sided lawn. Except this plant didn't look like one of the cartoony plants. This one was slightly darker and completely shredded from top to bottom, looking like a freak show, a nightmare from something indie coming to life. It didn't even look cartoony, it looked so real. Imagine seeing that in real life at night. You could hear bones cracking and blood dripping all around with its dark, soulless eyes. It looked at the sunflower I planted and shot peas at it, but the peas it shot looked decomposed and monstrous. It shot peas slightly faster than a normal pea shooter did. Imagine what happens if it was a repeater or a gatling pea. I was getting a bit scared, so I started to fight these dead plants that planted themselves. Now I know why the application was called Deadplants.exe. The more I fought against this never-ending army of the plants that got eaten in the game, the more loud and fuzzy static started building up covering my screen that I couldn't even see, right to the point where my entire screen was static. I heard the crunching game over sound. There was no yell, just like normal levels where you lost. Instead, the screen just popped into a white screen and blood started to drip down from it, and a loud blood-curdling distorted scream started to play, and it almost popped my eardrums. It even broke my entire audio system. Then the game shut down with an error sign that read some glitch words. I looked closer and I realized what it said behind the glitch. It said, "We will do this to you." Not to mention, it started storming heavily outside. I shut off my PC and tried deleting the application, but it just wouldn't let me. While I was trying to delete it, I looked outside and it was pitch black. I couldn't even see outside, but when the thunder clapped, I could at least see a bright flash of the entire neighborhood and street for a few seconds. Then complete darkness again. Oh boy, I wish I really didn't look out the window then, because what happened next changed my life forever. A thunder clapped and I saw my garden. It was empty. The thunder clapped again, and in the light, I saw a figure of a person standing in my lawn. While I saw it for a few seconds, I couldn't believe my eyes. That figure was me. But when I looked like I was buried for some time. My skin was decomposed badly, revealing parts of bones and guts, and my hands and legs were replaced with slightly sharp claw-like hands. My eyes were completely black and soulless, but worst of all, I was also shredded up like a freak show's creation, a twisted fallen angel of fate. Right before the flash faded to pitch black, I saw the figure turn its head towards my bedroom window where I was looking at it from. I couldn't tell if it was really staring at me or not because it had no eyes, or if it sensed me. The next thunder clapped and I saw a dead plant from the game next to it. It was a pea shooter. Then a second dead plant pea shooter rose from the ground as the undead me snapped its right hand. Terrified, I ran to my parents' room to grab my dad's Enfield #2 revolver. I grabbed it when I suddenly heard a whisper behind me. A whisper. It said, "Why?" I quickly turned around and saw undead me staring at me with a blank expression. Even though my heart was pounding fast and fear was running all over me, I had the courage to lift the revolver and fire 4 shots at its chest. The bullets did nothing to stop him. All they did was make 4 holes in his chest with blood dripping out of them. He looked at the bullet holes and then back at me and said, "Why did you do this to us? Why did you do this to me?" I landed another 2 shots in its head, but of course, it didn't do any damage. When I tried to reload, it choked me and lifted me up in the air with superhuman strength, and then it yelled, "Now we will do this to you. Now I will do this to you." I don't know what he's gonna do. I think he's gonna throw me down in the backyard from the window. Help me, I'm gonna fall! Alright, here's the report. Name Melvin Kingston, age 16. Cause of death, he was thrown out of the window of the parents' room facing the backyard, and when he fell, he got impaled in the left leg, chest, and the forehead by the sharp iron bars on the backyard walls. According to the report, there were fingerprints, Melvin's own fingerprints. It was as if Melvin choked himself and threw him out of the window onto the bars, so it could have been a suicide attempt. We do not know why he did this, but according to the next door neighbor, she claims that she saw 2 people in the room that night in the incident. The person holding a gun claims to be Melvin, but the other person, it looked like Melvin, and a cross between a zombie. They will be preparing his funeral, his loved ones are aware. Report classified as self-suicide.
Fearless.